Hey, how's it going, guys? KaijuLou here, and welcome to the very first segment of what I like to call Story Time with KaijuLou. And what this is that this is some of our extra additional content that we're debuting this season outside of the podcast. And throughout these things, I would be telling you guys some crazy stories that involve video games, that involve experiences that I've had that involve certain games, and a lot of these stories can be triumphant, they could be tragic, they could be anything. They could be crazy. They're going to be all over the place. But some of these things are just, normal stories, nothing too crazy or anything about it. But other than that, it's time to share some stories, so gather around, everybody. Gather around the campfire. So Uncle KaijuLou's going to tell you guys a story or two about some of his craziest Amiibo experiences. And as you guys know, myself and co-host SegaSean, we are both huge Amiibo collectors. We've been collecting them since day one. And we have a wide range of Amiibos, and we're almost done completing the Super Smash Bros. Series. That is probably our most memorable Amiibo collection, since there's a lot of stories behind these Amiibos that we currently have. But hey, we're very close to getting them all, and but like I said, a lot of these Amiibo hunts that we like to call Amiibo hunting, especially during the great time of the Amiibo shortage that happened early on when the Amiibos started coming out, particularly the Smash Brothers Amiibos. We've had quite a few stories about these, so especially me. So I'm about to share some of these to you guys right now. It's probably about. I'm probably going to share only about like 3 stories, maybe 4, and a bonus, I don't know. But let's jump right into them. As far as, with the Amiibos go, I got to say probably the best one that I have, or most memorable, would be the time last year. I believe it was around February of 2015, when the wave that came out that time was the Rosalina wave, and I believe what the other ones that came with her was Rosalina. She was the big one that everybody wanted. And at the time, she was a Target exclusive, as well as Toon Link and Bowser all came out that same day, particular day. And I believe it was a Sunday or Saturday or Sunday. I think it was a Sunday, felt like a Sunday. I don't know. But what made me really, really remember this day that I will never forget, is implanted in my head forever, was the great big snowstorm. And we live out here in Chicago, and Chicago, we're famous for our snowstorms and for our winter and all kinds of crazy weather. But in particular, this was a snowstorm, blizzard, blizzard-like, and it was the weekend when Rosalina came out. She was exclusive to Target, and myself and SegaSean, the crazy guys that we were going to drive out into the blizzard to get Rosalina. And we were going over to our local Target, and we got up early. We were preparing for this like anyone would back then. When you're preparing for an Amiibo hunt, especially during the time of the shortages, people were up in line in front of stores on release days, like 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, just to get their hands on these Amiibos, because each store only had like a handful available, and everybody wanted to get their hands on them, especially especially the scalpers, because they were really taking advantage of this at the time, because at stores, people were able to get 2 to 3 per customer, and these scalpers were like, buy them all up and then resell them for like triple the price online, as you guys know how scalpers work. And yeah, what happened was, myself and SegaSean, we almost got killed on the way to get Rosalina. I might be exaggerating. We didn't really get... We weren't almost killed, but we've almost died a couple of times. See, what happened was, on the road to Target, like I said, it was a big blizzard. The snow hit really bad. It was already about knee deep in snow, and we were on the roads to Target. And while we were driving, a couple of times, when there was a red light, Sean who was driving at the time, and I was on the passenger side. He would like hit the brakes on his car, and our car would be sliding and curving around the road like crazy. The car could not do a complete stop or a full stop, and it was bad. Thank goodness there wasn't a whole lot of traffic out that day. Well, because one, it was a weekend, and nobody was really out, and also because no one would really go out. Any sane person would know not to go out to begin with, because of the weather, of how crappy it was. And but me and Sean, we were the exception. So, and I remember one time we were almost at Target. We were almost there, and we were just driving, and of course we had to stop the car. We were sliding completely off the road, and we ended up, I think, on the side of the curve, and we were just completely twisted diagonally, and yeah, we were kind of stuck there for a good couple of minutes, I think, until we had to get out. We had to just, like, he had to accelerate the car, and then we had to end up pushing it, and then yeah, it was crazy. And I think a couple of times too, we almost ended up sliding off on the opposite side of the road, and yeah, thank God we finally made it to Target. And like I said, thank God this was early in the morning where there wasn't much traffic going on, and yeah. So we finally made it. It was about a few minutes before Target was opening, and already there was a huge line of people, and you could tell too by the parking lot, where there was more cars than expected, and you could see why all these people are sitting in their cars waiting as well for the doors to open at, I believe, 8 o'clock. And, of course, all of them, you could tell by the look, too, they're all video gamers and Nintendo fans, all coming for the same thing, for that Rosalina amiibo. And, as we were going in, as we were about to go into the store, this was a little bit too, when stores were starting to prepare for this, and they were starting to realize how serious all these amiibos are, and how, and the lines were, because of crazy incidents and stuff and disorderly conduct. So they made us all go in a line, single file, and walk over, and all of us were just in line like soldiers, and we're all just walking left, right, all the way to the video game section, and there was no Rosalina at all on the shelf. We're all like, wait, what happened? And a security guard walked over to us looking really suspicious, and he was like, hey, what's going on here? And we're like, we're here for the amiibos. And of course, the guy's like, who? And they said, what are you looking for? We said Rosalina and Luma. And then he talks to his little walkie-talkie, says, yeah, is there any Rosalina and Luma in the back? Oh man, but that was really funny. Anyway, we all got into the line by the cash register, and they were going to hand us one Rosalina each to each person. And myself and SegaSean, we were a little bit down in the back of the line, so we were getting a little worried. But by the time we got up to the front, I was up first and SegaSean was behind me. We both of us got the last 2 Rosalinas. I swear to God, we both got the last 2 Rosalinas for the both of us. They had no more Bowser or Toon Link, but they had They had 2 more Rosalinas for the both of us. Wow, what luck! I mean, what dumb luck. And all of you guys are probably thinking it's not worth it due to the blizzard and stuff, but I don't know. Do we regret driving through that blizzard? Not really. Would we do it again? Myself and SegaSean? Most likely. And I'm sorry, I'm being brutally honest here. But anyway, we still had enough time, so after we left that Target, we went over to a different Target, which was down the way, just to see what they had there and stuff, because we were still looking for Bowser and Toon Link. And so we went up to the shelves, and as we went up to the shelves, there was still a few good Rosalinas there. And of course, I look to my right, and what do I see over my shoulder? This little scalper scumbag. He was just like picking all the Rosalinas one by one, just taking them and stuff over his shoulder, and finally I just grabbed another one. On me because I don't know why, it was just instinct. I just bought another one that day as well from that store, as well as Bowser and Toon Link. They had plenty of those at that second Target that we went to, so yeah. And to this day, I still have the Rosalina that I got from the very first infamous Target. The second Rosalina I got there, I did want to get a second one to open one, have one open and have one closed. And but then, you know, I decided to use it for trade bait because I ended up getting a Little Mac out of it. And because I knew a guy that was able to get a Little Mac for me, and you're like, oh, cool, hey, let's trade in the Rosalina and Little Mac. Trade in a Rosalina for a Little Mac, because Little Macs at the time were pretty rare, extremely rare, one of the hardest amiibos to get. A lot of money online, and as soon as he came out during his wave, never seen him anywhere at all in the store all throughout last year. And so yeah, these were pretty rare, and I knew a guy who was able to get Little Mac online for me, which he did, and I traded him my second Rosalina for the Little Mac, as well as a few bucks extra because he was a bit stingy. So, but oh well, that's fine. And that's a second. This could be a second story about how I got the Little Mac. So I guess it really goes hand in hand. And but yeah, I was able to get a Little Mac out of it. And still to this day, Little Mac I would still consider kind of rare, because only a couple of times during the Amiibo restock have I seen a Little Mac lying around. And I don't know, I would still consider him rare, but do I regret that time me getting Little Mac for the Rosalina? I kind of do in a way regret it, because I don't know, I feel like I was certainly not patient at the time. I wanted Little Mac really bad because all of my friends had Little Mac and I didn't, and so yeah, it was out of patience. It was me not being patient. It was me being kind of greedy at the time, and I'm like, I could have just waited a little bit longer, you know, probably 6 months longer until I saw Little Mac again in the store. Then I would have bought him for the regular price of $12.99, but I didn't, and I ended up giving the guy I knew my second Rosalina and a few bucks more as well. So, it was kind of a hit, but oh well, what can you do? You know, at the time, because you had no idea Little Mac was going to get a restock or what. Because these amiibo shortages were very scary at the time, and really horrifying for the amiibo collector, for the true Nintendo fan. But next up is when is how sometimes the nature of the Amiibo hunt gets really tragic from time to time. I remember excuse me. I remember last year, I believe it was last year, towards the end of summer, I think. Yes, I believe so. When Dark Pit came out, and he was an exclusive to Best Buy. And of course, when Dark Pit came out, when a store is exclusive, that store is going to be jam-packed with a line. And that time, myself and Panda Mare, SegaSean's girlfriend, we were going to our local Best Buy to get in line for Dark Pit. But the thing was, we had it planned out, but we got up kind of late. And I mean, it was still only like about an hour and a half or 2 hours till Best Buy opens, but you have to get up and get in line earlier than that. And but yeah, SegaSean didn't go because he was too lazy at the time, and he didn't really care because he wasn't too much of a fan of Dark Pit. And so by the time we got there, of course, the line was completely snake-like long, and you could tell people were out there for a while because they brought their lawn chairs and their snacks and video games, and someone even brought their dog with them and just sat there with their dog in the lawn chair. I don't know. But by the time the store opened, long story short, by the time the store opened at Best Buy, the employees warned us. They're like, okay, everybody, just to let you know, we only have 38 Dark Pit amiibos in the store. So, yeah, if you're past the 38 number in line, I'm sorry, you're not going to get any. And so I believe that I had a chance because I was not too far off in line. I couldn't make a direct count because there was people who came in groups. But then I was like, oh no. If every single person in that group each gets a Dark Pit, which they probably would, because that's the plan that families do sometimes, to get extra amiibos, if the store only can give you one per customer, so that's another plan that people would use as well. And so we were online. They were handing us all the Dark Pits, and in front of me was a couple, boyfriend, and I guess he brought his girlfriend with him, of course, to use her to get an extra Dark Pit. I was one person away. You do not get any closer than that from getting a Dark Pit amiibo, but I didn't. All because the guy in front of me got the Dark Pit, and his girlfriend got a Dark Pit for herself too, to give for him. So if that didn't happen, I would have ended up getting a Dark Pit. But I didn't. When it was my turn to go up in line, they were like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we are all out of Dark Pit. I was like, huh. I was not too happy at the time, and yeah, so me and Mary, we were kind of really disappointed that day, but hey, this is the nature of the Amiibo hunt. Shit like this happens. And of course, as soon as we get outside and we're crossing the parking lot to get back to the car to head home, two guys already go up to us. They're like, "Hey man, you looking for a Dark Pit? I got a Dark Pit for a Dark Pit for you right here, man, for $30. Only $30." I'm like, wow. Scalper mother effing scumbag. Of course, Mary and myself completely ignored the guy, saying, no, we don't want it, and because we weren't going to give them the satisfaction. We were not going to give them the satisfaction. So, I mean, eventually down the line, we got our, about 2 months later, I eventually got a Dark Pit, because they restocked. So, you know, it all turned out fine in the end, and I paid it regular price, and of course, I didn't pay it what those scalpers did, you know, double the triple the price of that. So yeah, of course, with a little patience, they'll eventually be restocked one by one, and yeah. So another funny story I could say, a little brief one. Would be, I remember the time when I had, it was last year again. Last year was really wild for Amiibos. Last year when they had the wave, I believe this was in the fall last year, when they had the wave that contained Olimar, Zero Suit Samus, and Dr. Mario together coming out. As well as, I believe, the 30th anniversary Retro Mario figure. I think so, because I remember at the time, Mario Maker came out that time as well, I believe. And anyway, we're in line at Target again, the same Target where we got Rosalina, because Dr. Mario was also an exclusive to Target. When we got in line, everything was single file, everything was orderly, but by the time we hit the video game section, everyone was running. Everyone completely spread it out, and chaos ensued, and everyone was like grabbing and ripping the shelves apart and grabbing those amiibos, and I'm underneath trying to grab an Olimar and my Zero Suit, and also Ganondorf came out during that time as well, in that wave, and I had this fat Italian dude literally on top of me, suffocating me, because he jumped over the crowd, and he was on top of me trying to get his hands on this Zero Suit Samus or something like that. And yeah, that was not a fun time. I was able to get all the amiibos that day that came out during that wave, all four, plus the Retro Mario ones. So yeah, but still, that was not fun at the time. To have a big fat Italian dude jump on top of you to grab the amiibos, and yeah, oh, the smell, the horror of it all. And I guess here is the last Amiibo story that I can give you guys, probably the saddest one of them all, the most tragic. It would have to be the gold Mario Walmart incident. And what it was is that, I believe last year as well, early last year I think, it was myself, SegaSean, and another friend of ours. We all went to Walmart, and at the time when Gold Mario came out, of all the places to be exclusive at, you're exclusive at a freaking Walmart. Well, anyway, when we got there early. We got there at least 3 hours early till the thing came out, and you know, employees don't trust. Number one rule for the Amiibo hunt is to don't trust anybody, not even store employees. It's bad. We went to the video game section, and excuse me, we went to the video game section, and what happened was, you know, we went up to an employee, we said, hey, you know, we're here for the Golden Mario, you know, what's going on? And the guy told me that, oh, you know, you guys just stay here in this section, and you guys, you know, the Amiibo give out will happen right here. And so we did. But then we got a little worried. We asked another employee, told us something completely different. And so, you know, it was really disorienting. It was really confusing, because all these employees are telling us different things. We don't know who to believe. Some employees don't even know anything about it. And we finally made it up to the front. It was time to go. But we had a hunch something was wrong. Something was off. So we made it all the way to the front of the store. And when we did, a huge line of video game fans already in line. We were like, wait, what the hell? they were giving out the Amiibos at the very front of the freaking store. The very front of the store, and we couldn't even touch the Amiibos because they're like, oh yeah, you guys have to get a number ticket from one of the managers, and the first, I guess, I don't know, 10 people who get a number ticket, they're able to all get first dibs on the Amiibos. And at the time as well, not only did the Gold Mario came out, also the Mario Party Amiibos as well. And, but yeah, we just had to watch in agony as the vultures rip through those boxes and are grabbing every single Gold Mario Amiibo, and nothing left but Peach Amiibos. What a trip. That was probably the saddest. This is probably the saddest, one of the saddest things ever for myself and SegaSean, because we had no idea what was going on. The store did not know how to order, how to organize themselves, or how to place things in order, or how to what to tell their employees or their customers. The store did an awful job, the worst job at handling the Amiibos. That's why never again will I ever get an Amiibo at Walmart, ever. I don't know. It was really heartbreaking, and because of all those people, myself and SegaSean, we were the first ones there. We got there over 3 hours ago, and yeah, it was, man, it hurts. It really hurts, and but yeah, you know, there goes to show you, you gotta really be careful out there during that Amiibo hunt, and don't, like I said, you can't even trust anybody. You can't even trust the employees, and sometimes they're the worst ones of them all. They're just as bad as the scalpers. They even are scalpers at times. The employees themselves, I don't know, but yeah, never again was something like this. We still, tragically, myself and SegaSean, we still do not own a Gold Mario Amiibo to this day. And, oh well, what can you do? This is a great lesson to be learned about when going to a store for a certain item, even that's not an Amiibo, and about, don't talk to the employees. Talk to the manager themselves. Talk to the manager directly and ask, where is it going to take place in the store, and do I need to do anything stupid, like get a stupid number ticket just to even touch the Amiibos? But other than that, what crazy stories do you guys have that might involve Amiibos, or that might involve anything really about video games? Do you guys have any crazy stories that you would like to share, or that you have on your own? If you do, please by all means, share with us at the bottom of the comment sections below of this page. And but other than that, guys, take care. And be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Super Game Strikers podcast, the official podcast of Game Strikers. And be sure to like us on Game Strikers on Facebook. And other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed these Amiibo stories and the first segment of KaijuLou's story time with KaijuLou. I can't even remember the name of this. But other than that, hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys share some crazy Amiibo stories or video game stories of your own. And other than that, this is KaijuLou. Take care, folks. See you next time.